Alrighty, we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you for being here tonight. Please stand and join us in prayer and pledge of allegiance. Gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you now. We just give you thanks for this community and for this council. We ask you to watch over us and guide us in our decision making. We ask you to be with us and just be with our employees, our village residents, and the staff here, and just make this a better place to live. We ask you to be with the Socott family through their time of loss right now, and the veterans through their daughter's healing, through her recovery. We ask you to be with all those who need you in their hearts and prayers through their healing process, and just be with them and guide them. We thank you for all that you do. Please guide us as it directs us each and every day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Bassett.
Here.
Beverly.
Here.
Bailey.
Here.
Miller. Martin.
Here.
Egley. Here.
Very good. Before we go any further, we have a special guest with us tonight. Dennis Miller is with us. And Dennis, if you would please stand and go to the podium microphone. And thank you for being here.
Okay. Well, I'm here tonight to talk to you about some of the services that our organization provides to the village. And one of the, what precipitated the conversation was we have a administrative contract that we had, I guess, a long time ago, entered into an agreement for the administration of the revolving loan fund program that you have in the village. And in talking with the mayor, he asked that I might want to come and just talk to you about all our services. So I'll proceed with that, just give you an update on some of the things that our organization has been involved with the village over the years, and then we can talk about the service contract. Through the revolving loan fund, which I tried to look back through my records. It's we first established it probably in the mid-'80s. It was originally capitalized with funds from a sort of a unique grant opportunity where the city of Defiance was awarded some economic development grants funds through the Department of Housing and Urban Development. It was called the Urban Development Action Grant. And in order for the city to receive those funds and loan those to a business in Defiance, the funds had to be repaid to an eligible community that met the criteria of the of HUD's criteria. So at that time, there were a few communities in the area that met the criteria. Unfortunately, Hicksville was one of them. And so we worked out an arrangement with the city and the village where the city of Defiance received $1.2 million to loan to Defiance Precision Products. And in exchange for giving priority employment consideration by Defiance Precision Products for Hicksville residents, you were the recipient of the repayment. So you got $1.2 million paid back over a period of years to capitalize your revolving loan program, which puts you in a position that most villages didn't have that opportunity. So with those funds, we've revolved those over the years. I've probably been involved with 20 or 25 different projects. Many of the downtown businesses that you have a pretty vibrant downtown, which is great. And many of those businesses have been recipient of some of the loan funds. We've done some of the larger economic development projects. At one point we worked with NEMCO to help them locate their medical division. Of course, they had their food equipment division. We did loans with both of them, and we We began to build the industrial road with some of the community development funds that we're able to get. And then extended that further to extend it all the way through through your parcel that you own. And to your credit, you've added programs like the Land for Jobs program, and you've done a great job of stewardship with the fund. We have very little delinquency and a pretty healthy revolving loan fund on that. And that, I guess that's our administrative contract is for the purpose of just managing that. Some of the other things that our organization is involved with through the county and are the community development block grant allocation programs. I went back 5 years and looked at projects that we've done. In 2017, we provided $58,100 to repave Arthur and Cornelia Streets. 2019, we provided $48,900 for East Smith Street repaving. In 2021, we began to replace some water main valves to isolate sections of the village. So that was $35,000 for those 16 valves. And 2023, we look to continue that and replace another some more valves, 6 of them, for $49,500, and also do the demolition of the former water tower, your old water tower, and that's at $70,500. So bringing those funds to the village to help do important projects. Through the critical infrastructure program that the state has, we worked with the village in 2020 to do the well field expansion, or new well field, and hook that into your existing water distribution system. You were awarded a $500,000 grant for that. Targets of Opportunity Economic Development Program. That was during the COVID period in 2020. The state offered funds to school districts to help deal with implementing measures that would reduce the COVID risk to the school district. We provided $49,900 to the school district for cleaning equipment and $21,300 for HVAC improvements at the school. Then we also in 2020 we did a downtown redevelopment program that impacted 3 buildings. 100 East High, 122 East High, and 164 East High. And on those 3 buildings, we spent $210,700. And so, I'll look at the CHIP program, our Community Housing Impact and Preservation Program. Defiance County receives funds through that program, and I looked and we did approximately 12 units in the village, totaling $290,881, where we provided assistance to private owners to upgrade their homes, to bring them up to a standard level. And we also are currently, we've got another program ongoing. We're taking applications right now. We're also offering a lead safe program for homes that have lead issues with lead paint. We can help with that. And we've got another opportunity for additional critical infrastructure projects. The county has 3 slots available, and we're currently looking for projects, so I'm sure we'll be getting together on that. The downtown program, if we can come up with more owners, we do have another opportunity to apply for that. And the residential public infrastructure program, which is the program we use on the well field, that's always available too. We can apply up to $750,000 for that program. So that's in a nutshell what services we've provided to the village over the years. And getting back to the revolving loan program, our administrative contract, in the past, we had a contract where we had $2,000 per year to administer that program, which was $1,000 every half. And that contract's been in existence for quite some time. And we would like to increase it at this time to $2,000 per half for a total of $4,000 for the year. That's a not to exceed figure. We would, if we don't have any projects, we wouldn't bill you the amount, but you always seem to have a lot of projects, so which is a good thing. Have any questions?
I guess my big question was we got two different ones. On February 3rd, we got one more of a loan administrator contract at 15%. And then on the 16th, we got one that's technical assistance, and it's at the $2,000, $4,000 rate. I was kind of curious on why we got two different ones and what changes were made, because there are a lot of terms that were on the 5 or 6 pages that were all different.
Yeah, the first one was put together by my fiscal person, and we administer 9 different revolving loan funds, and most of them are administered and monitored by the state of Ohio, and we have to comply with federal provisions and so forth, so it's much more involved. Since yours is a local program and you have sole control and authority to manage it, we have some guidelines we follow, but those are established by the village. It's not as complicated, so that's why I rewrote it to reflect exactly the services that we provide to the village, rather than that more expansive one that you originally.
Kind of hard to do a budgetary number on that number when you go by percentages versus the
Yeah.
2,000, 4,000 max.
Yeah. That was the reason behind it. And I apologize for the confusion on the first one. I wasn't aware that she was sending it out, so.
Those are my questions.
Yeah.
Well, I know we've had a good working relationship with Maumee Valley with the different grants and proposals in all aspects with infrastructure, commercial buildings, housing, across the board within making the village a better place and opportunities. If any residents like the CHIP program or different residential programs, if they need to outreach and look for any type of grants, do they reach out to the village or Cheryl or Corey, or do they reach out to you directly?
They can reach out to us directly, but I have some flyers for the housing program that I'll leave with Cheryl, and you can share those with any people. Yeah, that's an information sheet that, and we have intake people that would come and meet with people one-on-one and
Evaluate them.
qualify them. We have housing inspectors that come over and look at the property and determine what needs to be upgraded and look at their electrical, plumbing, HVAC, windows, roof, all those things.
Can we use your people that did the investigations on some of our nuisance properties?
Possibly. We've done that for some other communities. Yeah. Yeah, they could at least go look and determine what the conditions are and what needs.
And some guidelines of where we're headed, or what we can do or cannot do?
Yeah, and it might give us an opportunity to work with some of those people to
Exactly.
help them upgrade the property.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
Your thing said the bills would be in January and July, so when would be our first bill since we're in February?
We'll probably, if you approve the agreement, we'll probably submit you the first billing and have it payable on July, and then we'll submit the next billing in July, and you could pay it in December. If that works.
Does anybody else have any questions for Dennis?
You're doing a great job.
Well, I tell you, we've, if you have a favorite community, you're it, because you're a great community. It's a pleasure to work with you. And we've done some great projects, and I think hopefully we've been as helpful to you. And I love to see the progress in the community. You've done a great thing, industrial park and downtown development. It's pretty vibrant downtown. I always like to bring people here and show people what can be done if you all work together to try to help people out there downtown.
Yep. Thank you, Dennis.
Yep.
Thanks, Dennis.
Great, thank you.
Next on the agenda, we have the approval of the February 5th regular council meeting minutes.
Motion to approve as written.
Second.
Roll call.
Bassett?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Egley?
Yes.
After that, we have the approval of the February 12th special council meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve as written.
Second.
Roll call.
Egley?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Bassett?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes. Thank you. Approval of bills list in your packet.
I have a couple questions for you. Probably don't since Corey's not here. No, those would all be answered by Corey.
Make a motion to pay the bills?
I'll second that.
Roll call.
Miller?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yes.
Bassett?
Yes.
Egley?
Yes.
Thank you. Boards and commissions. There's anything in the packet. We have council reports or county committee reports. We have personnel committee, streetlight property, and looks like an additional water sewer committee. Any questions on those?
I had a question about that mowing position. Is that something that we have to create? Does something like that exist already?
Mm-hmm.
It does?
General labor
Okay.
position.
It's already,
Grade 3.
that position's already budgeted in now, or no?
Mhm.
Yes? Because I know Mike had been doing it, right?
They have one, this year we had one for nuisance property and one for village-owned property.
Nuisance property are still to be put out to bid.
Okay,
The mowing of personal property is still budgeted. Last year they had a couple different individuals. Mike, I think, started it, and then they had, I think his first name, Tim
Tim Baker.
Baker do it for a while.
but it was just a part-time position, right?
Yes.
Does this look more like a full-time position?
Yes.
Yeah?
He said it was in his budget to
Okay.
have a.
Yeah, that's
we
what I
asked
was
that
curious.
question too, yeah.
Okay,
But it would be a full-time position. Corey would utilize a person for mowing. His number one job priority was groundskeeping for the most part for our village-owned properties. And then if he was shorthanded, whether it was sewer, water, refuse, or anything else, he would have an extra person. And that person would work full-time, so it would also be in the wintertime, helping with plow, doing leaves, leaf work, and all that kind of stuff, so.
for the extra help would be.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, that, none of this isn't gonna go for his employees, but are they so strapped now that they can't take a vacation?
Oh, the vacation time?
Yeah.
Yeah, they only work 9 months out of the year.
I mean, are they that busy that nobody can take a vacation?
Well, I asked Corey, because I agree, we should encourage them to take their vacation, and he said he's never denied vacation. So I don't know if they're just not asking for it.
Cause I mean, they're getting an extra holiday now, so now they get 2.5 weeks a year vacation for holidays. Do they still do a lot of comp time, Cheryl?
I don't know, I didn't do comp time.
Well, I know they still do, so instead of taking overtime, they'll take comp time, which gives them more days off.
Shouldn't there be a cap on all this vacation time? I mean, when you get to where you're on vacation more than you are working, there's something wrong with the system.
There is a cap in the personnel manual.
Is it 12 weeks? Because that's what it says here is 12 weeks.
No, it's, well,
You
you
could
can
have
earn
now
up
with
to
this.
5 weeks a year, but you can have.
You can carry over 2 years' worth.
Carry over
The
2
bill,
years'
that's the,
worth, yeah.
that's your
Yeah.
policy.
Yeah, I'm
Which is
not.
more than I'm used to ever seeing.
Yeah, 12,
Yeah.
12 weeks is a lot.
Well, you can actually, if you get 4 weeks vacation, yeah, and you have 4 weeks and then 4 weeks and you carry over 2 weeks and then you start that new year and everything's different for our employees. Because they don't go January 1st to December 31st, it goes with your hire date.
Okay.
So let's say you get hired, July 1st, and from July 1st, you start accruing extra vacation days. And if you don't use anything up until the following June, you could build up to 12 weeks of vacation.
Well, will this new hire alleviate and give these people a chance to take a vacation? I just find it hard to believe that they're that busy that they can't take a vacation. And if it's they won't take a vacation, that's not my fault. But if I was looking to get maybe another 3 month pay during the year, yeah, I'd never take a vacation either.
Well, sure, my question is, I know we discussed this about whether or not this is in the budget. Because it seems like if each person could be paid out that much time, that almost needs to be written into next year's budget and not approved for the budget that's already done.
It hasn't even been approved, period.
Well, right, but I imagine that's,
It would
was
be brought
gonna
up
be,
to,
yeah, it was gonna be
for
brought
us to
up.
vote on.
Right, tonight. So I guess that's my question, is this something that, let it ride this year, and then during budget time, it gets written into their budget? That's a lot of money.
So if you let it ride this year, you just accumulated another 2 to 3 weeks additional on top of the 12
Well,
that
they
they
can
got.
do that anyways, though.
Yeah.
It's how much we pay out. Do you know what I'm saying? Like paying out, none of that was budgeted. You got an extra month's worth of unbudgeted pay, and, I mean, that could be 9 months worth, that's a whole nother person they could hire. I mean, that's a whole nother person that they could have, but we're paying it out in vacation. So that was my question, is do we need to address this during budget time and not now?
Yeah, and currently we don't have anyone who qualifies for it anyway,
Good to know.
so.
So why was it being
Yeah,
pushed?
so why is it being brought up?
Because I know that it was brought up by the employees.
Yep.
Yeah, there's an angle to it, I'm sorry.
What's the angle? Have you figured it out?
You're getting free pay for not taking off.
No, that was not it.
Uh,
It was because we had all new people. We only had a couple seasoned people to try to train the new people, and that's why they didn't take time off. Because everybody was hired one after the other, and we only had,
Well, everybody's gotta be trained now, so.
all we had was Troy and Bub who'd been here a while. Everybody else was new. So if one of them took a day off, the new guys were just,
Right. So you feel that if this were to go through tonight, it would be okay with the way that their budget's?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
That was my concern.
Yeah, Bub did take his time off, so
Okay.
Is
nobody
there-
qualifies.
Is there a downside to amending the personnel manual and requiring everybody to take a week off? At least just 1 week?
Well, if they clearly are taking weeks off if they don't have enough built up to cash it out. I mean,
For now.
I'm with you,
Yeah.
that, yeah, that's.
But they
I'm going
cashed
to
it out,
encourage
didn't they? They didn't take it.
They can only cash it out to take it back to the 2 years,
So
not the whole thing.
You're not paying
Right.
off like 12 weeks worth, they have to, 12 weeks
Paying.
of your,
Paying off
We're not
6
paying them
weeks,
in lieu of
4.
vacation.
4, right, max of 4,
yeah.
right?
paying a max of
Right.
4 for
Well,
1 year.
Well, it would be whoever, if you had 12 weeks, the max that they could turn in would be 4 weeks and put them back to the 2 years that they
Right.
can carry over. It's not paying out all 12 weeks.
So it's
Correct.
constantly,
correct.
it's constantly rolling over 4.
Yeah. 4 weeks that they'd be accruing that
So
year.
a month, so
They
they
use
only
any
work
vacation
11 plus their week and a half of days off. So a month and that's, you hiring?
Well, it's not like they have, 20, 30 people, not like a factory where you have 200, 300 people to pull from. You just grab somebody from a different line and bring them down there and start working your job. I don't know, I've asked for the same thing at school. I mean, you try not to burn your time up by a certain day, and then you don't use them, then all of a sudden you want to use them, and then you're busy and you can't use them. And I know they're shorthanded at times, and we definitely talked about encouraging their employees to take days off, but we also didn't want them to feel like they were punished for coming to work all the time. That if you're coming to work all the time, well, then you lose your vacation days.
No, I see that, but I do know that some companies won't pay out at 100%. So like, I know my company, you get paid out at 100% once in your career, and then after that, I think it's 75%. And that's, again, a way to encourage people to use the time. But I completely understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
that, you know, we don't want people to feel punished by it either. That's not good.
I don't know anyone that can roll over that much vacation time.
That, when I saw 12 weeks,
You used to be
That's-
able to at the county.
that's
Yeah.
MD level.
Yeah, I'm like,
You could roll over as much as you wanted.
2 years worth.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Well, something has to come to a vote, right? And council has a decision to put that through as a motion to do that level of pay and carry over, so.
You can either vote on it, or you can wait till the personnel manual's ready to be voted on.
I like that idea.
That would be a splendid idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I think we need to put a committee together for the personnel.
Excuse me?
I think we ought to put a committee together, have the department heads, you know, with Cheryl, and go through the personnel manual and update it.
When was the last time it was updated?
2019.
So it's time. It's time, yeah.
She's sooner than I thought she was gonna come. Some of her ordinances.
Definitely.
Well, that's something the personnel committee wants to be a part of, and then department heads and
Sure.
Cheryl and everybody get together and look at all that, see what else needs changed.
The only thing, as far as the sidewalk committee, you can read through it, but we do have another meeting scheduled for next Wednesday, the 28th at 5:30. And hopefully this time we'll have people here that can answer all residents' questions. And I did contact everybody that was on the list last week, so they should know about it. But for those listening that want to come, it's 5:30 next Wednesday.
All right. Any other questions about the committee meetings? I put, Corey did submit a administration report. I put that, made copies of that, put that on your desk in front of you tonight. Does anyone have any questions about Corey's letter?
I guess, well, I'll have to ask him. Did he advertise or put out requests for proposals? I mean, that'd be my only concern, if we talk to any
For
company.
the camera truck?
Yeah. More than just one company. We went through that with a vac truck several years ago, if you remember.
Yep.
Talked to him in the morning about it.
Yeah, I'd be curious if he put out, either had to put out requests for proposals or have an advertisement.
Right.
Beyond that, and if it's in the budget, it seems rather high.
I know he was looking at, I'm not making an excuse or anything, but it's something he was looking at last year. and-
Yeah,
and
finance
didn't
committee
get
said
it.
no the previous year.
And then pushed it off, not pushed it off, but moved it over for this year's budget, so.
Pretty much got taken away due to raises
Yeah.
and insurance changes.
Right. Very good. We have solicitor's report.
First, we have the first reading of ordinance 2024-05 by caption only, in ordinance to amend the annual appropriations ordinance.
Motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Roll call.
Bassett?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yep.
Bailey?
Yes.
Egley?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Second and final reading of ordinance 2024-05 by caption only to an ordinance to amend the annual appropriations ordinance.
To move.
Second.
Roll call.
Bailey?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Bassett?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yep.
Egley?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
First reading of ordinance 2024-06 by caption only, an ordinance authorizing, excuse me, an ordinance authorizing the village fiscal officer to advance funds and declaring an emergency.
Move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Roll call.
That money's gonna get moved back after you get your March payment?
Definitely. Bassett?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yep.
Bailey?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Egley?
Yes.
Second and final reading of ordinance 2024-06, an ordinance authorizing the village fiscal officer to advance funds and declaring an emergency.
So moved. Second.
Moved on.
Roll call.
Martin?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yep.
Bailey?
Yes.
Bassett?
Yes.
Egley?
Yes.
And then, first reading of resolution 2024-05 by caption only, a resolution of the village of Hicksville, Ohio, appointing Michael Barth and Mike Bailey to serve on the Defiance County Tax Incentive Review Council on behalf of the village of Hicksville and declaring an emergency.
I have a question on that. Do we want Mike on there when he's quitting?
That's what I was gonna
Same
bring
question I
up.
had.
It's once a year.
Pardon?
It's once a year.
Mike willing to do it after he retires in a
Month.
month?
I told him he had to.
He's okay to do that?
How'd that work out?
It's in March,
It's
I
this
think,
month.
isn't it? Yeah. Is it March,
That's
isn't
why
it?
no, well, I'm not sure. I think it's usually February.
I haven't
Did they
seen
do it
any
March?
meeting date yet.
Is this that big meeting where they all talk about the abatements and stuff?
Yeah.
That's it.
Out of 50-some employees, we picked one that's only gonna be here another month?
He's
This
been
is the
going
one.
every year
Yeah.
for the last, ever since he's been here. He goes every year with the mayor.
Okay.
You kind of, I've never been. So
Won't be
sad.
this year.
Now you do say aye when they ask you to
I
vote.
do, I'm sick.
Can a non-employee go? I was just asking, I don't know.
He's still employed, that's why they kind of put him for this year, then we're having somebody new
It's
for
while
next
he's
year.
still here.
Right.
But you only meet once a year, so it's his final year.
Sounds stupid.
Make a motion to suspend the rules then.
Second.
Roll call.
Bassett?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yeah.
Miller?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Egley?
Yes.
A second and final reading of resolution 2024-05, a resolution of the village of Hicksville, Ohio, appointing Michael Barth and Mike Bailey to serve on the Defiance County Tax Incentive Review Council on behalf of the village of Hicksville and declaring an emergency.
Also move.
Second.
Roll call.
Miller?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Egley?
Yes.
Bassett?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
All right. Oh, got department heads. Chief Denny, you have anything?
Did you, Cheryl, did you send that picture around to him? Oh.
You said it was secret.
Oh. Well, I just put it on social secret.
Yeah.
So, I guess I can show all of you guys. I'm just not allowed to put it on social media. Our newest member of our department.
That sounds gonna be cute.
It's gonna be in the trailer.
How old is that?
15 months.
Oh.
Not so
Bob's a little upset, he applied for the job.
We'll make it Bob.
I'm just curious, why can't they go like that?
In case it washes out.
Oh, okay. No, I was just curious.
Yeah, like it's part of the purchase agreement, so. So.
Cute.
So he's the newest member. We got him Friday. Right now he's at Allen County's K-9 training center right now being kept there. Shane Balser will start K-9 training with him February 26th.
I mean, Bostic.
Balser.
Balser.
So that starts February 26th. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, our car will be done. We took the car over to Tri-State and Angola to be outfitted. We'll be able to pick it up Thursday. And it gets marked on Saturday and Sunday. And then, and of course, on Monday, he'll be starting K-9 training with it. So, I think that's all I've got right now.
Does the dog have a name?
Echo, I think is what we're going to call him, I think. Haven't decided yet.
Oh, they don't come with a name?
Yeah, he's got a name, but we need to change it.
Oh.
Is that required?
Well, there's two dogs that's gonna be part of this training. It's got relatively names
Okay.
close to each other, so.
Does Shane do his training with the new dog?
Yes. Yeah, it's 14 weeks. So, but, so yep, Allen County, Indiana is where they'll be doing it at.
Any questions?
Thank you, Mark.
Next, Chief. Bruce Hart.
Every time I step up to this podium, I got bad news for everybody.
Sit down.
That's gotta change pretty soon.
Sit down.
504 has a electrical problem along with the keypad that revs up the motor. Okay, that's been said before. That is going to go down as soon as we get the pad and the keypad to rev, for the RPMs. The ladder truck was certified, but I haven't got the certificates yet. It did pass its test where it went straight up for 100 foot, carrying 55 gallon of water. It consists of 2 people in that bucket. And it just did a circle, no hesitation, no jerk, no nothing. Brought it back down, we did a pump test on it then, from the tanker to it, and that passed with flying colors. I do have 2 hydraulic leaks in the tower. The guy that tested the truck, he said, you can go ahead and use it if you need it, but I wouldn't recommend it. And I'm not going to stick my head out either, and I know the council wouldn't want that to happen either. So as of right now, the tower's down until I get it down to Finley and get that taken care of also.
Does it need to go to Finley? Does it need to go to Finley to fix the cylinders?
They've tried out here and tried to fix the hydraulics and it didn't happen. So we're back at square one.
Who tried to fix it?
Under the previous administration out here at,
Hot shot truck.
No, Creek.
Oh, no creek.
yeah.
No Creek. Oh, that makes
So
Mike Myers.
that's where we stand on that. And before.
That truck was at Mill Creek?
Yeah,
The cylinder.
yeah. That's what I was
Oh, you had the
told.
cylinders off on it?
That's what I was told. I don't know if it happened or not.
Right. I would check with Mike before you. I would check with him.
Yeah, I agree. There's no doubt about it.
I can check with him in the morning, Bruce.
Okay, thank you. And you saw where they were.
Yep.
Yeah. 503 then is our second line pumper. That has a hole in the, somewhere underneath, and it's just spewing out water every day. Loses about 25, 30 gallons a day. It's not a big leak, but it's a leak. Right now, we've got it set up that
that's not the first truck out of the barn. The tanker will be. We got 3,000 gallon on that too. Start to fight the fire with. That's all I have on this.
What?
Go ahead.
Just because I don't know, what's 504?
That is our mainline pumper. That's 24 years old. Our secondary pumper is 34 years old. So the girls are getting tired. Do you want me to start looking for a new truck, or are we still gonna?
I'm 70 and I still hit her every day.
And so am I. I can start looking.
Are there grants out there?
There is. I'm gonna work on those too.
That's how we got that Mac, correct?
Yeah, I think Scott, he went through a company out of Texas to do the grant writing for that one.
Yep.
I don't remember who it was, but I think we had to pay him $500 or something like that, and it didn't matter if you got the 2,000. Was that
$2,000, yeah.
It didn't matter
I've
if we
got
got
his
the
name.
truck
I'm
or
gonna
didn't get a
give him a
truck. I mean,
call and find out, see if we can get something started. Right now, I was told last Monday night that there's a fire department out Midwest that is getting 2 new pumpers into their station, and they're 5 years out of getting them. So that hasn't changed. They're still selling them, and they're still making them. So I got a couple ideas on getting maybe a used one. I don't want to go used because you see what the problems we have so quick with them. But I hate to come back in here and have a $90,000 bill like we paid for on 4 also. So that's where we're headed. We gotta have them. There's no doubt about it. So.
You get estimates on like the 504 or the 503, are they up here and look at anything?
Yes, I had the tech come up on 504 to look at the pad, and he said that it's shot. He's going to try to find another one. They don't make this particular one anymore, so he's going to have to revamp it. Also, when he took out the panel to look underneath all the wiring to chase it, there's a bunch of wires in there that are already burnt. There's a fuse in the block that's burnt into the fuse block. So when that goes down for the pad, he's going to have to look into that also.
All right. So he can't give you an estimate, or?
I have no idea what it's going to cost. So, any other questions on the fire side?
But on that, when he gets into that fuse panel, you're definitely going to get a price, correct?
Yeah, I'll get a price
I mean,
before, yeah. I mean,
a guy can get in there and he can spend the rest of his life in there.
Yeah, it won't operate. I mean, you know, somewhere along the line, whether that wiring that burnt took
The
out
only
that
thing that's
pad.
currently missing is just the rev up when the pumps kick in.
Yes, yeah,
It won't pump at this point.
yeah.
But if something like you needed the truck, somebody could set in it and push the accelerator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, yeah. You
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
have
in
someone
theory you
sit
can do
there
that.
and throttle it
Yeah.
and get some pressure.
Yeah. Which if your house was burning to the ground, that'd be a handy thing to do.
But that's the reason why 506 is going out the door first.
Exactly.
That way
Yep.
we have, hopefully, won't have that issue.
There's no other questions for the fire. I'm going to turn it over to Bruce on the EMS side.
Bruce, be short and sweet.
Sorry I couldn't be here last week. I kind of had something else pop up unexpectedly. Before I get started, I just want to say thank you to the village and a lot of the people that came out to see us today and have been supportive for the past week. Very much appreciated. Thank you. So I gave you earlier, I handed out a piece of paper. It says ESO at the top. This is a billing interface that the new billing company will utilize. Basically what it does is it takes our run reports and turns it into something that the billing company can use. So that's $395. Unfortunately, I mean, with ESO, it seems like every little thing that they're charging it for. So I mean, it is what it is at this point. But you know, that is something that we do need to have for the new billing company.
But this is still tied to the young lady that was here last week?
Yes, that's 100%. Yep. With for her to do her job, I mean, she could do it, but this makes it so much easier. So that because what happens is this billing interface will interface with what they have, and they will be able to bill right off of our run reports. So anything that we do will be done. So a couple other things. We did get our modems in for the life packs. We will hopefully tomorrow I will be talking with Stryker, and we will start being able to transmit 12 leads to the various hospitals. Just in case you did not know, this hospital down here was again on diversion over this past weekend. I think this is like the second or third weekend in a row that this has happened. You know, so luckily the first weekend we were not busy. This past weekend we didn't have the same luck. So I think there was probably 6 runs over the weekend, and a lot of them did go to Fort Wayne. So just keep that in the back of your mind. This Thursday, the medical director will be here. So he will be here at 9 o'clock. March 16th, we will be having a training session with the EMS, Northwest Ohio EMS will be bringing their training simulator here, and all the EMTs will be going through training that day. So it's something that we've never had here before, and as I was going through the EMS website, their website, I noticed that we were able to get that, and I gave them 3 dates, and March 16th was the date that we agreed upon. So now it comes to this. May not have such good news either. We did try to take 511 out. We took 511 out on a call the other day, brought it back. Seemed to run okay. We went to move it again, and the lights were starting to act up again. Starting to flash, go on and off. So
They're made to do that. That's called 4-ways.
Yeah, well, you know, when the lights aren't supposed to be on, you know, that's a problem. So it's a wiring issue. We've said this before, you know. I think we've had that truck in several times to be looked at, and every time that we get it, we think that it's taken care of, the problem pops back up, you know, within a year or so, you know, sometimes even sooner. So that's something that, you know, I kind of like to know what you guys want to do. I mean, as far as we got to get it fixed. Well, we either got to get it fixed or we got to start looking for something else.
I know that had a loose ground, frame to motor block ground, and you guys found that and put it back, but did you prep it really good? I mean, ground the frame and ground everything and remounted it, because that's a very, very important ground, and it takes a very good, clean ground.
So I was not part of that process. I will be honest with you. I was not part of that process, but what I've been told is, yes, that everything that you have just said occurred to make sure that ground was stabilized. So, yeah, I know that I know the people that worked on it, I know would prep it. I would trust them working on my personal vehicles. So, you know, I have no doubt that the prepping and everything that they needed to do took place.
Well, that's a simple one. We as opposed to 250,000, which you were thinking on an ambulance before, that we don't have. We need to get it someplace that knows what they're doing electronically, and which would probably be an ambulance builder like Oakwood or someplace.
Yeah, we have talked to Pain Care, which is the Braun representative here in Ohio. We can try them again and see if they will be willing to come up here and take a look at that. If not, you know, we'll have to probably end up going to maybe someplace in Decatur. I know that there's a couple places in Decatur that deal with install lights, so maybe they can do something with the ground, you know, with the wiring.
Is there an electronic schematic with that truck?
That I do not know.
I mean, with that body being mounted onto that truck, there's probably 6 or 8 strategic grounds that go onto that thing.
Right. I would say that that's something that I'm going to have to see if I can't track down. You know, either over there or see if I can't find something online. You know, there's no way. I mean, we're going to have that second ambulance.
Oh yeah.
So, question is, what has been decided on the open EMT position? There's 3 full-timers now, and when the former EMT left, that opened up a position. We haven't had anybody say, yes, we need to fill it, or no, we're not filling it, or we're going to do this instead. Just kind of like some clarification. You know, also, I know I talked to Cheryl. What are we doing with the EMS coordinator, chief, whatever we're doing there? I signed some Medicare paperwork earlier today, just to get it done as the acting EMS coordinator, because it needs to be done. Just kind of wondering where we're at.
Well, I think that you and Abby and people like that should tell us whether you need another one. I mean, we sit here and then we go home. We don't know if you need another one. So
Well, he has told us he needs 3 more.
Well, yeah,
That has been
but
stated.
that was 3 full-time paramedics he was talking
No,
about.
that
he wasn't.
That was
3 part-time.
That was 2 part-timers, and then you would have a full-timer that would be filling filling that position. But I know at one time there was some talk about, okay, well, does that 4th EMT, is that going to be the coordinator position? Is it going to not be the coordinator position? Is the coordinator position going to be a full-time? Is it going to be part-time? These are questions that were raised, and you know, we just kind of like to have an idea. I mean, I have a job description that Abby typed up for a full-time EMT that we can definitely put out tomorrow. But I don't want to do that if you guys are like, no, wait, we were going to do this instead. So,
Well, I don't think the committee's got that far with, I mean, we've had several meetings, and last week we had the billing company come in, and then they have not met since that point in time. But I look at it, the situation too, with hiring new employees with the hospital situation. You know, do we start looking for either maybe 2 part-time paramedics, because we're already starting to transport farther out? Or, you know, do we hire a full-time paramedic kind of thing and have them housed more often in the facility? I mean, is that what your job description kind of entails, or is it more basic?
well, so I'll just read the job description, and again, this was kind of typed up at, you know, just with this thought. The Village of Hicksville is seeking a qualified EMT B, EMT I or a EMT or paramedic who is professional and looking to invest in a rewarding career with Hicksville Fire and Rescue. This position is responsible for providing emergency medical coverage within a designated area of the village of Hicksville, Hicksville Township, Mark Township, Milford Township, and Farmer Township, as well as mutual aid with surrounding departments. This position would be 40 hours per week with potential for overtime and full benefits. Applications are available at the village offices. Please contact the Hicksville Fire Chief for further with any questions. I mean, that's something that we can put out tomorrow. But I don't want to. I don't want to do that if you guys are going to sit there and go, wait. We were going to do this. I definitely think that we have to have, because right now you're paying overtime, and you know part of the trade-off with hiring the part-timers was to limit or eliminate the overtime. So I guess I'm just kind of asking for a little bit of guidance here as far as what you want me to do regarding this full time. And you know, at some point, you're right, we're gonna, with us having to transport, because it did pop up over the weekend where they were on one run and another run came in, you know. So
we haven't had a great opportunity to discuss the actual coordinator position, because I do want to put some thought into that. I want that to be structured well. I know that you guys definitely need this position to be filled, and I want it to be separate from what your needs are, right? Like, that is a must, and then you have these additional needs. I mean, if it's a matter of me proposing tonight that we hire 2 part-time paramedics, I'm willing to do that, because I've sat down with you, I see the need, we asked you for a contingency plan, you did that, this is part of that plan, with the idea that if the hospital shuts down, that need may change, right?
right.
Like that part-time may look different, and I don't know if we hire them on a year contract because of that. You know, I don't know what that necessarily looks like, but I mean, if that's something that you guys want me to bring tonight,
Why don't you propose that, Tony, because we all know that we have to have it.
So
we all know
Do
that.
you need are you looking to get part-time or do you need
Well,
full-time?
so-
That's what I don't.
So this would be, so
That's-
correct me if I'm wrong, but he doesn't have to ask for our permission to fill the current vacancy, right? So that would be done in-house. So that's up to you, how you want to do that. But if you want additional, those 2, we've discussed those 2 additional, I do want to go to committee maybe to discuss the coordinator position a little bit more, and definitely Cheryl. I want to go to Cheryl, I guess, to discuss that coordinator position, because she's gonna be able to guide me financially how we can structure that.
Well, and again, we didn't want to move forward
Yeah.
with hiring anybody if you guys was going to turn around and say no, that the full-time position was going to be the EMS coordinator, and now we've hired somebody else, and that EMS, and now you're sitting there going,
So let me ask you, because I know prior to that position being open, you still felt like there was a need for 2 part-time paramedics, the 4 full-time that you have, and a coordinator. Do you feel like you can do it with 3 full-time, a full-time coordinator, and 2 part-time? Is that how you would like it structured?
honestly, I would love to see it structured more of 4 full-timers with 2 part-timers, and then the EMS coordinator.
But could you use it the way it's being proposed to you right now and make it work for a little while?
You know what? You give me what you tell me what I can. You tell me what I got to work with, and I'll work with it.
So,
And I'm only saying that because we have so many ifs and buts
Oh,
out there.
I think there's some discussion that needs to be.
And I get that, and again, we're all operating under the assumption that something is going to be happening down there. We don't know what it is at this point, you know. Could we go a year to year? Absolutely. I wouldn't see why not. You know, go a year to year with whatever, and say, okay, yes, we were able to, if the hospital stays open, yes, we were able to start doing transports, and it brought in X amount of dollars. We spent X amount of dollars on their wages, so, you know, what does that look like?
The problem is we're not gonna have great numbers this year because we're also doing billing at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, this is really a transitional year. So, I mean, I still think that that shouldn't stop us from looking at those part-time paramedics so that
Right.
we can do transports. I mean, that's something, you brought us the numbers, you've done your homework. Yeah, I mean, if that's, I propose that we hire 2 part-time paramedics.
And I get behind her on her proposal.
Me too.
I'm okay with that, but has anybody talked about like pay or anything of that?
Well, there's a pay scale for paramedics.
Okay, well, no, I
Depends
haven't
on
sat
their
in on any of the
certification.
meetings, so I don't know
So the-
what's been talked about.
So the pay scale, so the way it would work,
Well, if it's covered, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just
That's
didn't
not what
want
we're
to
looking for, is paramedics.
right, right.
Having
Based on that they can do.
holes.
their-
Yeah.
in the fact.
Right.
So I'm okay
Yeah.
We
with
can only hire.
doing it.
That's what they're looking for.
Abby, did you have something?
Yeah, so,
Better return for the transfer.
obviously we're gonna fill the full-time position, but what if for now we hire our EMS coordinator as part-time, so I don't know if this is okay with you or not, but put you in as part-time so that he's getting paid for the hours that he is doing, and right now he currently sits at the station 2 days from 8 to 4, doing all the work, so right, that would make our EMS coordinator part-time currently until we figure out a different situation. So we are still making sure everything's getting done. We have a paramedic that can possibly do transports, and we have 1 part-time position filled.
Does the EMS coordinator that's there 8 hours, let's say, 8 to 4, whatever, those 2 days, is he also filling in as going on runs? Or,
Yeah, if it's needed, yeah.
I mean, he's like one of the 2 people, you're not,
No, there's
like, as he's only going on runs as a backup person if nobody else responds, or?
no. So there is 2 full-time at the station currently. He's typically up there doing all the emailing with the state, making sure everything's in line. Has been crazy lately, so his hours have been kind of all over the place. But you know, if cardiac arrest comes in, you have a medic on scene to do everything that you can as a basic, which that did happen last week. But at least then you're paying your coordinator right now because there's no really set schedule for that.
Are you, and just to be clear, Abby, are you saying in addition to the 2 part-time paramedics, or that would fill one of those roles?
That would fill one.
Okay. I know you have a full-time job, so I don't know. I mean, that's completely up to you. I would love to see it structured where you can be there. Are you currently, I know that we agreed for you to get paid out for some of those hours, but is he currently getting paid out for hours? Okay, so I guess that would be up to you if you fill yourself in as one of those 2. But just for the purpose of getting those 2 positions open, you know, I think that's what I'm just proposing. And if you decide to fill one of those positions, I think that's great. Either way, I want to see that you get paid for the hours that you're putting into structuring this.
So I will say this. Yes, I do have a full-time job. But my love for this village is tremendous. And to help people in this village and in this area, it is tremendous. I don't have a problem doing whatever you guys have asked. I've had no problem with working with the rest of the EMTs. They understand that I have a full-time job. So yes, I would definitely be on board with that. I have no problem with that. Sleep is overrated.
So Tony, do you want to rephrase your?
Well, I'm still proposing 2 part-time paramedics with the idea that if the coordinator wants to fill one of those positions that they can. Does that sound appropriate? Is that how do you like the way that that's phrased, I guess? Does that fit your needs?
That fits our needs.
Yeah.
And I seconded it.
Okay, say that again.
So you're working what,
We'll
20?
be hiring 2 part-time
Yeah.
paramedics with the coordinator position filling one of those part-time paramedics.
But I thought at one point you were talking about hiring a fourth
Well,
EMT or whatever.
they already have that position. We don't have to approve that.
Oh, okay, good enough. It's confusing.
So
Yes,
I
it is
I will say this real quick. You can ask Abby, Drew, Hannah, Bob, Derek, any of the other EMTs. I let them know on everything that I'm doing. So there's no, I'm very transparent. Yesterday I did some work from home. And I sent them a text, hey, this was done, this was done, this was done, you know. I think you have to have that transparency with everybody. And again, yeah, I have no problem doing the coordinator's position because, you know, I do think it does help to have that one person that you guys can go, all right, what's going on? You know, whereas that one person can go back to the others and say, hey, I need your help here or there, so.
Thank you.
Motion on the floor.
Well, what's the pay scale, I guess, for a coordinator position? Because we don't even have that job as a job description and for salary,
So-
hourly rate or anything.
So there is no hourly rate for the coordinator position as per se, but so the way I'm understanding it is that you would be hiring me part-time at the current paramedic pay, which is fine.
How many hours is part-time, I guess, for the ones you're looking to hire? I mean,
Up to 29 hours?
Yeah, up to 29. We're looking, we'd like to stay around that 24, but you know, there could be a few times where, you know, they might be on a transfer a little bit later, you know. I'd like to see them put in 12 hours per shift, you know.
That's why we need these 2 extra people. Motion on the floor. First and second.
Roll call?
Bailey?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yep.
Bassett?
no.
Egley?
Yes.
Good.
Thank you, Bruce.
Yeah.
We still gonna put that ad in the paper then?
Yeah, we'll put it in the
Okay,
paper.
I mean,
Yeah.
on Facebook?
Yeah.
All right, well,
Thank you.
oh,
Thank you.
Park Director. Anything, Val, Gary, it's good to see you here. Have a good winter. Was it winter yet?
Yeah.
You been out mowing yet?
Not quite. Nothing really going on, but we're planning on starting
Can't go.
in the next month.
Next month,
As
good.
long as the weather holds out.
Okay, I'm sure it will.
There's Scrooge over
It's
there.
50 degrees again today. Thank you. Anything else out there? Nothing? Yep, fiscal also for a report.
I don't have any collections reports right now. All I have is fund status. And I have a very scary cash summary by fund. If you notice, the revenue, 66,000, and the expenditures, 304,000. Typical first of the year.
Well, I will say, is that sitting out in the audience, I always felt like asking, is anybody concerned about that or gonna try to do anything to?
What can we do to change it?
What would you do at your house?
Quit spending.
Yes.
Yeah, tell my wife to knock it off.
I don't like it's meant. Yeah, if nobody else is concerned
Well, I
about it,
mean-
that's fine, but my goodness.
I think we bought enough trucks, but I see we're buying more.
Go ahead with that.
How are we gonna buy more trucks?
We're leasing that, remember?
honest money,
No, I think we talked about the lease program where you've talked, I know both chiefs, equipment keeps breaking down, cruisers keep breaking down. You know, time and time again, we put a lot of money in repairs, and we're trying to get into a cycle where we try turning these cars and units over quicker. We don't have the repair costs, and they're under warranty and everything. It's kind of a different way of thinking, but you know, recycling these or trading in these units over a period of time where you don't have those repairs. So I know Chief was saying the other day, you had 3 or 4 units.
At least doesn't bother me,
Yeah.
but we're also spending so much money.
It's usually this kind of a cycle at the beginning of the year with purchasing and, you know, new year and budgets, and that kind of works out, so. But we've kind of been blessed with our revenue streams coming in over the years, and what we've had.
It's just that we're waiting for March to come every year.
Sure. It's not the way, so. But I've asked department heads if, you know, some of those bigger purchases, I know they go through the finance and budgets and you get through your, you know, your appropriations and everything, but just as a reminder sometimes of some of these bigger expenditures when they're coming back around for time of purchase, it's good to remind council and or committees that those things are coming through instead of being surprised when they do come through, because it's already been approved and some things are even carried over from the year prior. So I think that's due diligence and being transparent with council committee and stuff. So on that note, I don't have much to report on. I do want to, there's a round and square dance this coming Saturday, February 24th at St. Michael's Catholic Church from 7 to 10. Fun for the family. If you want to like the square dance, they're doing that down at the church this Saturday, and I think they also have a fish fry Friday night, so a lot of fish fries going on. Support your local businesses and churches during time of Lent. And then this Thursday is the Red Cross Blood Drive at First Church of Christ. It's at 118 North Main Street from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. I know there's always a need for blood and shortages of blood, so if you can give, please give. Down there, I know they work really hard. We got a couple local people that put a lot of time and energy in preparing food, making sure the staff's well taken care of and everything, so we're thankful for that and coming into that. So that's this Thursday, February 22nd, 1 to 6 at the First Church of Christ. And then coming up March 8th is the Defiance County Board of Developmental Disabilities Inclusion Day. They ask you to put your purple swag on March 8th and just encourage you to grab and join in us painting Defiance County purple to promote Defiance County as a community without boundaries. So if you want to paint ribbons around your trees, paint your windows or anything just to show that you are aware of developmental disabilities in our county and just supporting their needs and issues. So that's on March 8th. So that's Friday. That's all I have. Did anything else have anybody for?
I've got one more thing.
Yes, Chief.
So I just want to give a big shout out to all the individuals, private individuals, companies that donated for this K-9 program. We wouldn't be able to do this program without them being involved. So I want to give a big shout out to those people. We're still willing to take donations for this fund, you know, in the future or whatever. So.
We're good.
All right.
Yeah, you had good community turnout for that. Different
Yes.
companies, individuals. That was very
Yes.
nice. Thank you.
All right. I was just informed of something. I know you guys met with a lady from the billing software last week. Was there a decision made on that?
We were waiting for, I thought you to look over the information and contract. I thought that's where we were at.
I don't know if I received anything.
She has the book now.
Well, I have it. Yeah, I have the book now.
There's not an audio version, I found out, so.
We want to figure out the cost of all that kind of stuff. That was more than reasonable for
Yeah,
the interface part.
Yeah, it seemed like people were very supportive. We just wanted to make sure that it went through our solicitor and she
Right.
reviewed
Well,
it.
I was just asked and I'm like, I thought they made that decision last week.
Yeah, no,
but-
I appreciate you bringing it up because that is something that needs addressed and,
We did agree that we want to do it with her approval.
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as soon as she says.
So we're blaming it all on her.
You know what? I'm not saying she's been a godsend.
But we're also giving her time off because we know she hasn't been feeling good, so.
So as soon as she gives me the approval, then we're good to go.
Do we need an official vote on that, or is that something?
Didn't the lady say she was gonna have a contract for
Yeah.
us?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah,
There's
she
nothing
would.
in that book.
She have a contract and also like a template for you to look
Yeah,
over
there
for
was.
something our
She
size.
contacted me, and she was not drawing up a contract until we have a yes or no, because it goes through so much stuff over on her end, so she needs a yes or no to start everything.
Yeah.
And then she'll give you a contract, and you guys can determine, what needs to be changed, what you wanna add to it.
Well, you probably want to see the contract before.
I thought she had a
I
template.
thought, yeah, I thought she had a
I thought she said she had a big
contract.
template for something like a village like ours that she'd be able to share with Rachel.
I think there's, I was gonna say, I think there's some templates next door.
Oh, this was actually from her.
Oh, yeah, she had one where it had like who from the EMS signs and
Yeah.
everything at the back of the book. That's what I thought
She was supposed to provide.
we were gonna have.
I don't think it's in the book. I thought she said she had copies that she was gonna
She said
send.
Yeah, I
that she
thought that was
had
the
blank
contract.
copies for IRS to get paperwork from them, blank copies from our fiscal officer to look into our account, but she can't make contracts unless we are going with them. There's no point in doing that unless we have decided.
Right.
Yeah, it was close back. I just thought that was a contract because I read through it and it had the terms and everything else.
It had the percentages in there
Yeah.
for year 1 and then years 2, 3, 4.
7 in the beginning.
I was gonna say, I was thinking it was like 7.5.
But there was questions I got asked about the township runs and all, village runs, and if you wanted to have a different contract, or I thought she made it sound like she had some template.
She said the whole contract will be like a pamphlet that big, that will have all of our township stuff in it. That will be included in the contract, so.
She'd have to get with us on how that's all broke down and billed
Right,
and.
which she will not until
protocol.
it's a yes or no.
Right.
Because it's a lot of
I mean, that's
paperwork.
something we want to vote on and then have her do the contract. I mean, we're to that point of thinking council is ready to roll with the billing company and.
So Rachel doesn't have to read through all that.
Not yet.
No, or just.
Well, she'd have to read the contract part of it, so, and then Cheryl helped with the.
If Abby's saying she won't give us a contract until Rachel says yes or no, then we just need Rachel to say yes, and then we vote on it right now and get this thing rolling.
That's not saying that, you can't withdraw later because you haven't signed a contract.
Exactly,
So-
Right.
yes.
Okay, now I'm really confused.
Hey,
Well-
so basically what it boils down to is right now you guys are voting to approve it, pending her approval.
Of the contract she gets
contract.
from Ann.
Right.
You're approving,
Yeah.
a contract that you can review and then approve the final.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
what you were saying,
You can
when she says
finalize.
yes,
Right.
it's not that.
Right, exactly.
Okay, I guess one.
Yeah, no,
So she doesn't need to read through all that stuff.
it's all legalese as far as.
I'm fine with that.
I'll make that motion.
I second it.
Roll call?
Bassett?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yes.
Bailey?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Egley?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Abby.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call?
Egley?
Kosa.
Yes. Martin?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.